through federal funding.
I think Waltz there's something in the brew of
Is
adding
there?
more money, yes. I
Okay.
was reading about it today.
Oh, that's good. I have not seen that. That'd be I'll look for that, Connie. I appreciate you sharing that with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will entertain a motion to approve the plan.
So moved. This is Sandy.
Sandy moves. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Connie seconds. Okay, further discussion? Thank you for your work on this. I know that this is pretty labor-intensive work, and I think it looks like a really good plan, and I'm excited, for the implementation of it and the use of those funds in a good way.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Deb Pauley,
Yes.
Sandy Burke,
Yes.
Connie Hennon,
Yes.
Rob Langheim,
Yes.
Ryan Dehnert.
Yes.
Motion carries. 7.3, assurance of compliance. Superintendent.
So, this is an annual process that our district completes for the Department of Education. And the process entails our staff. First of all, you approve the handbook that has all of the required components within that. Then our staff reads that handbook, reviews that handbook, as well as our district policies. And many of the policies are super important. Some of them are called out specifically in relation to harassment and violence policy, any mandated reporting components, and our staff submits that to the district office through Google Form when they have completed that. And then as a district, we go in and certify that our staff has completed that process. So what you have before you is the completed report that Hope and I submitted last week, and we would ask that you approve that.
Okay, this is an annual report, so it's just a routine function of the board. So I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion from Ryan, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Rob, discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Deb Pauley,
Yes.
Sandy Burke,
Yes.
Connie Hennon,
Yes.
Rob Langheim,
Yes.
Ryan Dehnert.
Yes.
Motion carries. 7.4, review and act on the 2020-2021 World's Best Workforce Plan.
So World's Best Workforce just follows legislation that was passed in 2013 just to ensure that schools adopt a long-term plan that also aligns with the district's strategic plan. And it's focused on having clearly defined goals, a process for assessing student progress, a system to review staff effectiveness, quality instruction and curriculum, effective educational practices, and then a budget aligned to learning. This plan is also then vetted at the Curriculum and Technology Advisory Council before it's presented here as well. The clearly defined goals specifically must focus on 5 specific areas. So all children are ready for school, all third graders can read at grade level, all racial and economic achievement gaps between students are closed, and all students are ready for career in college, and all students graduate from high school. So our goals are listed in the plan. This year's goals already went to the advisory council, and then the goals also have the action steps within them for how we're going to achieve the goals. So for all children are ready for school, at least 51% of kindergarten students will score at or near proficiency for kindergarten readiness skills in math and reading based on our FastBridge assessment. For all third graders can read at grade level, at least 60% of all third grade students will meet or exceed proficiency on the reading MCAs in the spring of 2021. For all racial and economic achievement gaps between students are closed. So both the math and reading are the same, follow the same goal. For math, the district will decrease the average achievement gap between free and reduced price meals and not free and reduced price meals by 10% based on spring that should read 2021 MCA testing. All students ready for a career in college, at least 90% of students will create a personalized learning plan by the end of their 10th grade year. And then all students graduate from high school, Jordan High School will remain above 92% in the 4-year graduation rate cohort model for 2021. school year based on state AYP report. So those are our goals for this year. It went to the Curriculum Tech Council. The biggest discussion area really revolved around career and college ready, not in regards to the goal, just as a district making sure that we're making sure our students are career and college ready. Then a brief overview of the rest of the plan, because it can get kind of long, is that first there's a curriculum process. We're on an ads needs curriculum rotation cycle, and the process is outlined for professional development. This year, the focus really is just on supporting staff needs throughout whatever learning model we're in, and what the realm of education looks like throughout this COVID learning year. Our budget is aligned to learning and student support, which it is, and teacher equity, all students access to quality teachers. And then if this is approved, it'll be published on the website, and it was already vetted at the Curriculum and Tech Council meeting. So that is this year's plan. Questions or anything regarding the plan? I know half of you are at Curriculum and Tech, so you already heard it, but any questions on
Any
that?
questions for Aaron? Yeah, most, Connie and I and Sandy and I believe Lauren.
Lauren, yeah.
Yeah. You had a good turnout at the meeting.
I know.
Good, that was great. It was good to see the parent involvement and,
Yeah, it was. It was good.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good. Any questions or comments for Aaron? I think it's a great plan. I know a
Yeah.
lot of work. Thank you for all your work on it.
No problem. On the back page, I do have last year's goals as kind of an update on that. The first three we can't measure due to not taking the spring MCAs. We're still waiting on guidance from MDE on how the progress report will look, because we cannot report progress on those three areas. I'm sure that they'll let us know that hopefully soon. All students are career and college ready. This goal really focused only on four-year students, which is really why it was changed for this World's Best Workforce report, to make sure it encompasses that all students are career and college ready. But we did not achieve last year's goal based on the proficiency on pre-ACT, and then our Jordan High School graduation goal we did achieve last year as well. So we can't report full progress just simply because of spring testing.
Okay.
I just wanted to follow up with, I saw in Melissa's report this week, she thanked Katie for attending as the building rep. I thought that was kind of nice that there was a building rep from the elementary, and I would like to maybe, I know we have the admin from each building, but I like the fact that there was a staff rep, so that if there was questions, what happened at the meeting, or what to bring back to us as a board. Or
Yep.
as a, so I would like to see one maybe from middle school and
There
high
was
school.
one
So
here.
Kelly Heyer was there
here
from the middle
Oh,
school.
okay.
Yeah.
And Amy Peters has agreed to be on the committee. She just
Okay.
couldn't attend
Yeah.
the first meeting, so.
Okay. Yeah,
Good
that, I think
recommendation,
that's a really nice, I mean, I know Kelly represents herself as a parent too, you know, whatever, because she's been coming as long as I've been.
Yep.
So-
Yeah, I served on it for about 15 years as a teacher, and I
There you go.
loved it.
Good.
I liked
Thank
it.
you.
Maybe not 15 years, that's aggressive. Maybe like 10, I don't know.
Okay.
Feels like a long time.
And that's above and beyond, so
Yeah.
that's we're really appreciative of that time that they give for that too.
Yes, it is fantastic. I agree.
Erin, I had one quick question, and I'm sorry, it's not about the World's Best Workforce Plan, but in your report, and I know that I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but it did say that we were going to approve the revision of the grading practice guidelines tonight. Is that going to be delayed to another meeting, or?
No, I don't think I think it was just going to be reported in my report, not necessarily formal approval. It didn't need, because it's not a full
Okay.
change, so.
I didn't think it was either, but it just said the final plan will be reviewed at the school board meeting for final review. So I just wanted to touch base. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve World's Best Workforce Plan.
So moved.
Connie, is there a second?
Second.
This is-
Second from Ryan. Okay, further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Deb Holly,
Yes.
Sandy Burke,
Yes.
Connie Hennon,
Yes.
Rob Langheim,
Yes.
Ryan Daynard.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Aaron. Okay, on to board and administrative reports. Superintendent Evenson?
All right, Chair Polly, members of the board, I'm happy to share my superintendent's report with you this week. I have updates on the hybrid model. The things I would say about that is just that our staff just continue to impress me and work together just to figure out the best ways to support students and their unique needs. I know there's a lot of collaboration happening even outside of the duty day so that they can, figure out really the best ways to maximize the instruction. Most recently on our board tour, we were walking through the middle school and there were some specific questions on how that looks. And maybe a day or two later, I happened to be walking through the 5th grade pod and I just couldn't believe really how cohesive it all was. There were teachers interacting with students while one was projecting into the room on the screen and then the other teachers were interacting with kids, and it was quite impressive how engaged our kiddos were. We continue to, listen and find ways to better support our staff as well. And I would just like to say that the support of the board and the support of the community has been just really impressive. Our needlepoint bipolar ionization is complete. Very happy to say that NAC completed that project. And, I'm really looking forward to, the benefits that we'll have from that with cleaner air in all of our buildings. So very exciting. I know I've been following some other district communications and many districts are just scrambling now to get that put in. And I'm grateful we were on the forefront of that because many districts won't get it in yet this school year because it's so busy. So I'm really happy that we have that completed. Fall sports has been, a very exciting time with new guidance all the time. And last week on Thursday morning, I had shared with the board and with the district staff some of the new guidance that we received. It was welcome guidance, as we had many families that were quite concerned that they were unable to support their athletes at events. Understandably so, and so there was a major shift in the guidance, in particular for volleyball. They had started out with no spectators allowed on any level, and that was quite a frustrating thing for our families and the community. The update to that allows for 2 tickets per participant. So each of our athletes is allowed 2 tickets so that, family members are able to come and support them. So that is a nice shift for them. We hosted on Friday night. I was at that event. People were great. They were working really hard to social distance. Our girls had a nice crowd. It was a great, peppy environment. So that was super fun to be there. I was really proud. Yes.
So winter sports have been approved, I understand. Do we know if the guidance can be similar?
I imagine it will be.
Imagine, but we're waiting for final
Yeah.
They have
verification.
the league has a meeting coming up in like 2 weeks or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to.
But obviously, this is a pretty big precedent for
Yeah.
Yeah.
winter sports.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say I'd be surprised because right now nothing would surprise
Right.
me. But I'd be surprised if it was much different because it's helpful for them to be testing it out now with volleyball to see how smoothly that can go, in the school communities. And so they'll have some good data as they make that decision for what it looks like for winter sports. So with football, we host our first event here Thursday night. And so I'll be at that as well. A little different scenario. Each participant gets 2 tickets. And what we have done, there's just a small number of additional tickets because we only get 125 total at Jordan. And so we've prioritized seniors and doing a lottery of tickets for seniors. We'll do a drawing prior to each of those events so that we get some students there as well. And so that'll be, I think, a really nice thing for our community. So very excited about that. We'll be putting out more communication this week just to remind our community that only, ticket holding members can be on our campus. We're discouraging any tailgating, discouraging anyone peering over a fence on school property because we just can't control that environment. And we certainly want to be, following the guidelines for spectators. We're allowed 250 at the event, 125 for us and 125 for the guests that we have on those events. So we just want to have a really safe, healthy, fun time for our athletes.
But also too, Renee, that we have a lot of really good virtual and streaming
Yes.
options, people to
Yes.
participate. And so highly encourage everyone to continue to watch the game, but be able to do it using some of those platforms.
Thank you so much for mentioning that. And there's a couple of ways they can do that as well. They can do that by joining the boosters. I think there's an avenue through that, as well as on our activities page. There are the links that we can do that. Thank you for mentioning that, Rob. And then finally, I'd just like to wish all of our athletes, we have athletes that have completed sections and we have athletes that are in sections right now, and we're just super proud of them and just want to wish them all the best. Our soccer teams have been just great this year in cross country and tennis. I think they were just super happy to participate. We had great support from the families and the community, and just really proud of how well those events have gone for our school districts. So that's all I have at this point.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Renee? I don't believe we have any of the rest of the administrative team with us. So does anybody have any questions about any of the high school, middle school, elementary school? Aaron's report, Joe's report, community ad,
Do you mind
Kat's report?
if I note something for the
Sure.
board? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So one of the things that is a part of our communications plan is it really notes when certain administrators will attend board meetings and all of that. A vehicle for ongoing communication are the board reports. So I would encourage you, we'll always include those board reports on these agendas. And if you have any questions, our directors and principals would love for you to reach out to them, ask those questions, or ask me those questions as well. But they will only be here to present if we ask them to come and present.
Okay. Any comments or questions about any of the reports? Okay, school board member reports. Let's see, I'll start with city school meeting, which we had right before this meeting. Tom and Rob and myself were there, along with 3 city council members and Tom Nikkinen and Renee. It was a very productive meeting. Renee gave an update on the district, the start of school. Just let them know kind of how things are going and operating. Gave them a good report on the traffic and the drop-off situation up here. We got an update from Tom on developments around the city. Rob, I should let you chime in here.
Oh no, you're doing great. No, I think it was good. I think that it also kind of felt a little bit like we were kind of restarting some of the communication, had a good plan of how we want to move forward. So all in all, a really good meeting.
Yep. Okay. Communications, we already got a report on that. Thank you, Communications Committee. I don't believe the Joint Powers Committee has met, but they'll probably be meeting soon, and one of the topics they'll be discussing is our cable channel that we did discuss in our meeting previously. So they're going to be tackling that topic in the Joint Powers meeting coming up. Curriculum Committee.
We just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that Erin said, I think the part that she talked about career readiness and college readiness and whatever, we did spend a little bit of time with some parents saying they wish some things were identified as kids are choosing colleges and choosing maybe career paths, saying, if you go to this college that costs this much money, how long will it take to pay for your college? And just making families aware, kids aware, not just picking a school because that's the school, whatever. So that was interesting, and I know that that's an ongoing college and career readiness drives a lot of conversation in that, and rightly so, because that's a big decision, big choice. And it's interesting this year because they won't be able to do college tours or whatever. A lot of things are done virtually or, kind of, you do your own website, you know, so that was interesting. Stephen and Aaron did an awesome job, you know, driving the meeting, so it was good.
A big part of the discussion also focused on the grading system and what that's gonna look like here and moving through that process, so. Yeah, it was a good meeting. Ed Foundation meeting, I don't think any of us were able to
Can't
get
get
into
in.
that.
But I have seen some really awesome things on Facebook about some of the grants have been, some of the new seating and different creative, innovative things that have come from that. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to get into the meetings, you know.
Exactly. Meet and confer did not meet. I don't know, are we gonna meet next week or?
So we're scheduled to meet on the 21st. When I talked to Ann last week, maybe on Monday, she didn't know if there'd be a reason to meet. She's felt like we've had everything resolved ongoing.
Okay.
But I will send out an invite if they like to just touch base. But for right now, I know of no scheduled meeting.
Okay. We had our last negotiations meeting with 284. Rob, do you wanna tackle that one? Ryan, I mean?
Yeah,
sorry.
we have a tentative agreement, right? So
Yes,
I
we
think
do.
it should come to the next
Yes.
meeting, right? Or
Yep,
or
on the
November
26th, I think.
26th, so, yeah, I think it was the last one of the cycle here, right? I mean,
Yes.
a few months off.
We hammered it out and
Yeah.
they'll be taking it to 284 for a vote real soon, and as soon as they get their vote back, we probably will have it on our October 26th meeting for approval. So we're very happy. I think it's a good agreement.
Yeah.
Scale, I'm not sure if they met.
They've not been meeting.
Pardon?
I don't believe so. I didn't
Okay.
get anything from Tom.
Southwest Metro met. Let's see. Most of our Southwest Metro meeting, not most of it, but a good part of it focused on the Dean Lakes property, which we acted on at the last meeting. One of the other things that we were informed of is a program called Beyond New Beginnings. New Beginnings is their pregnant moms program over at near the 401 building. And there's a group that have started a 501c3 in conjunction with the Carver County Community Development Agency. And they're working cooperatively with Southwest Metro to provide shelter for homeless pregnant moms. They have to have been part of the New Beginnings program. And they have a house that's actually like right across the street from the New Beginnings building. And I believe that they have currently, they're underway with starting 4 two-bedroom apartments in this home. That's phase 1, and they hope to have housing for 8 moms, new moms. Wow. So it's a great program. Very happy that they're doing that. Other than that, we approved the Title IX sex non-discrimination policy. And like I said, we worked on Dean Lakes. That took a good chunk of the meeting, so. We have
Deb,
another-
could you tell us, did all the districts vote yes?
we don't know yet.
Oh,
There
okay.
was 1 or 2 districts that we required
Yeah,
2
2 readings.
readings by
Okay.
their policy.
I think tonight might be the night
Okay.
that they're acting for the second time. I think Prior Lake was one, and I forget what the other district was that
Yeah,
required 2.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
So we have a meeting next Tuesday, so we'll find out more then, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, any other meetings that I missed? APAC we covered, Sandy, we already covered that, so.
Yep, we
Oh,
did have a
Yeah,
health and
Booster
safety
Club,
meeting.
Deb.
Pardon, Rob?
Booster Club.
Oh, Booster Club, yes. How could I forget? Booster Club.
Yeah, we had another really good meeting. There's really good things going on kind of with the Booster Club in terms of just some of the engagement that we're having from some of our corporate members. So we were able to secure some additional corporate members over the last month. Tina's done a really good job there. We're starting to get really good traction with some of the gambling revenue that we're able to get, and we're starting to put a process in place where I think that we're going to be able to create a framework for not only assisting the sports and the activities, and some of the booster funded kind of assistant coaches, but then also some of the different programs and some of the equipment and some of the other items that some of these activities are needing, not kind of the essential things, but kind of the nice to have things to really boost some of the different sports and activities. One of the other things that we did this month also, just because of the whole COVID piece and knowing that a lot of people still want to be able to watch some of the different activities but can't necessarily be there in person, is that if you do get an individual membership through that membership this year, you get to be a part of the free streaming. That's a part of all of the activities that Jordan has in place. And so just trying to continue to be creative and creating ways to continue to stay engaged with parents and community, and making sure that we're supporting all the kids that are doing extracurricular activities.
Thanks, Rob. Anything else? Sandy, did you have something you were?
Well, I was going to say that, yeah, we had the APAC meeting, but Chad really covered that, and we already covered curriculum. But there was a health and safety meeting as well.
Oh, okay.
And that was on October 6th. And I think Tim covered about the needlepoint ionization in his report, and at that point they were just finishing in the middle school, and the elementary and high school were complete. Let's see, and he kind of defined that, talking about snow removal, and that will need to be, because Henches does the lots and everything, but the sidewalks, I believe, are up to us. So that we need to be more diligent about alternate entrances as teachers are using those for outdoor activities. And that it's fire safety month and they're doing fire drills. Let's see. When we just talked a lot about like where we were in terms of in tier 2 for 4 weeks, and what we're staying in hybrid, and just kind of some of the data regarding that, and what to do if there's a positive case. And contact tracing. So we just kind of, and it was actually a fairly quick meeting, which I was thankful for since it was at 7:15 in the morning. It was, we just went over a lot of things very quickly. So.
Great. Thank you. Any other meetings? Okay. If not, we'll do board reports. Ryan, let's start with you.
The only thing I have is I just want to, give a shout out to the Booster Club for the streaming option. I thought that was extremely, just clever with the inability to provide activities passes, and a great way to show support from a distance.
Okay, thanks. Connie?
I had an opportunity to do a little catch up with my obligation as a treasurer. Because of COVID, I wasn't able to spend some time in the office, so I was greeted by 2 stacks this high the other day. So I can't say I'm caught up, but I did spend the better part of a day there. I've been in contact with the auditors, have contacted me, and this year the audit is being done virtually. So I just give a lot of credit to our staff, because to be able to pull stuff at a snap and scan it to them, and then keep track of what they scanned, because whatever they scanned, they're going to get questions on. So lots of notes, and I have not a doubt in my mind, because our books are impeccable, and they do any questions they know, or if they don't know right away, we can look back. Why is this check missing? Oh, that was, they just do an awesome job with the books, and I'm really, really impressed. And I know that it takes a lot of time to have things as perfect as they are, and they do a really good job. So I'm impressed with that.
Great, thank you. Sandy?
I really don't have anything. I'm good.
Rob, how about you?
No, I just want to say, special gratitude and thanks to all the teachers. I know that, kind of as we're continuing to navigate COVID and the different models that are in place and trying to adapt kind of from a week by week basis, it's very clear that everyone is giving their best effort, trying to be as amenable and creative as possible in creating the best environment for the kids, kind of regardless of what that learning environment is. So just want to make sure that we recognize their effort and very appreciative of everything that they're doing.
Thank you, Rob, and I echo that, not only the teachers, but the paras and the kitchen staff and our custodians. I just would like Renee to relay to them appreciation from the board. We know that they're going above and beyond, and it seems like they're kind of getting in a groove, and I just hope we can stay there, that we don't have to, uproot the apple cart. I hear a lot of teachers and paras and cooks talking about the number of steps they're making per day, and it's just incredible. So I'm sure that they go home and they're very tired at night. So we are very cognizant of everything they're doing and very appreciative. So the only other comment I have a couple. Went to Marshall last night for soccer, and I just want to give a shout out to that boys soccer team. Those boys were some of the boys that started with the program when it was first, 6 years ago, or 5 years ago when it was started. And I can say that those are cream of the crop young men, and we ought to be mighty darn proud of them, because they are not only phenomenal athletes, but they're phenomenal young men. Just to see how they conducted themselves through all these years and on the field was pretty moving. And I will say that my grandson played with a fractured ankle the last 3 weeks. That's dedication that they have. They're amazing young men, so kudos to them. The candidates forum that was scheduled for next week, we've decided to cancel that. Just scheduling was just not working out for a couple of our candidates, so we thought, in fairness to all the candidates, we decided it was just best, the commercial club decided it was just best to cancel it. So I do want to thank the commercial club for wanting to do this. I did have several people from the community that approached me, and they were very excited that we were doing it. They wished that we had done it sooner, because some of them had voted already, so we need to keep that in mind for future years. So and then Renee and I have been attending phase 3, and tomorrow night we start phase 4, so for MSBA training. So 4 Wednesday nights in a row, we're spending almost 3 hours virtually together,
Yes.
along with other board members from across the state. So it's been good. Other than that, it's just been so fun to see activity around these buildings and see kids on the fields and kids outside, classes outside, and chalk art and learning, and it's just been fun. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Ryan, is there a second?
Second.
Second, and I suppose we officially need to vote.
Deb Pauley,
Yes.
Sandy Bird,
Yes.
Connie Hennon,
Yes.
Rob Langheim,
Yes.
Ryan Diener.
Yes.